Good afternoon. My name is Paul Anao Isaac, a music teacher in Noah Secondary School, Karshi, Abuja. With me, co-authoring this work is Dr. Felicia Onyebuchi Ezeogu, a lecturer in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Today, we are here to make a presentation on the topic the influence of modern technology and globalization on the traditional marriage music of Gbagi Nge-Nge people of Nasarawa State, Nigeria. As we dive into the discussion proper, permit me to read through the abstract of this presentation. Music and culture have been inseparable throughout history. Music represents people's identity and has been one of the oldest means through which oral tradition is practiced and transmitted to younger generations. Modern technology and globalization have seriously influenced African traditional music practices generally, with some positive as well as negative impacts. This study examines the influence of modern technology on the traditional marriage music of Gbagi Nge-Nge people, a community in Nasarawa State, north central of Nigeria. Employing ethnographic method of investigation comprising of interviews, participant observation, focus group discussion, and other relevant sources, the study interrogates the contents, song text, performance practice, instrumentation, training and presentational styles of Gbagi Nge-Nge people marriage music to decipher the impact of technology and globalization on the music. Hinging on Daniel Leonard's theory of modernization, which focuses on societal transformation as a result of technology, the study argues that modern technology and globalization have positive impact on indigenous African music generally, and Gbagi Nge-Nge marriage music in particular. The Gbagi people are known to be inhabitants whose origins are in Abuja, Kogi, Nasarawa, Niger, and Kaduna. However, our concern is of those who reside in Nasarawa State, a boundary area to Abuja. The advent of modern technology and globalization has ushered a new age of cultural sharing and evolution in Africa, presenting a platform for African culture to gain worldwide recognition. This global spotlight has allowed international audience to discover and appreciate the vast array of African music, arts, and custom, fostering greater cross-cultural understanding. Furthermore, this increased exposure has opened doors for African artists and cultural preservationists to tap into fresh audience, markets, and resources, propelling their work forward. Furthermore, modern technology has revolutionized the conservation and sharing of Africa's cultural legacy, archiving what was once thought impossible. Through digital platforms and social media, African cultural content, including music, videos, and literature, can now be recorded, shared, and accessed, ensuring the protection of intangible cultural practices and tradition for years to come. Moreover, globalization has sparked creative collaboration between African and global artists, resulting in groundbreaking and vibrant cultural expression that capture the intricacies of contemporary African identity. Prior to modern global societal experiences, the lack of resources, technology, and expertise has hindered efforts to archive traditional music of most African cultures, and in particular the Gbagi Nge-Nge people of Nasarawa State. Preserving and accessing traditional music is challenging due to its intangible nature and reliance on oral transmission. Many traditional music styles are not written down, making them very difficult to document and store for future generations. This lack of preservation and archiving mechanism has led to significant loss and erosion of some cultural practices and tradition over time. This has consequently resulted to disconnection from cultural roots, reduced cultural diversity, and a loss of identity for future generations. This loss of cultural value and tradition of the people has caused irreparable harm on the people. Permit me to play an audio excerpt of what the traditional music of the people sounds like without the use of modern influenced instruments. As we could notice from the audio we just listened to, the traditional music of the people before this modern time were devoid of English-made instruments. But as civilization and development continues to build up, producing these instruments becomes difficult. And as they were not being produced, gradually some of the things that make their music purely traditional begins to go extinct. So there is need for them to tap into the modern technology equipment in order to help preserve and sustain the practice of the people. Again, we'll be listening to an excerpt of music production that is involving Western instruments that have been adopted and adapted into the use of time, so that the modern and generational children, youths, can also relate with what is trending. By so doing, fusions of different styles also emerge. So we will listen to that shortly while we continue the discourse.
Yes, I am. Amula Nge Kaya. Amula Nge Yalo. Amula Nge Kaya. Amula Nge.
As earlier noted, the traditional music of the people were made in local language. But now, with the introduction of modern technology equipment and the infusion of different styles to meet with the trend of time, the music now are being produced in a way that they are translated into other languages. Within the north here, they relate more with Hausa, but still, with the adoption of English instruments, this music can now also be performed in the church, giving room too for English translation of what the music is about. Now, this is like bringing the culture into the common practice of the people, thereby making it a daily and regular life for the people. So, generally, the text aspects of the music has made it possible for people to also relate with the culture of the people, not just by what they play, what they say in their language, but that the message is being kept. Beautiful thing about this whole thing is that with the current technology, we also have noticed that the content, the meaning, the message of the music of the people in the old can still be maintained and kept, because with this, whether the music is being translated in other languages, the content still remains intact. And now the fusing of different styles makes it even more enjoyable. Again, let's listen to this audio excerpt and see how the music of the modern time has really increased the audience participation and general enjoyment while keeping the culture of the people. As may have been noticed from the just played audio, keyboard, bass guitar, drum sets, amidst other English instruments were employed in this music production. Again, these technological equipments that aided this recording made it easy for the culture of the people to be archived, stored for reference. This production also gives an opportunity for the people to show to the wider world, the society on a global space, what their cultural music is like. That way, they are reaching out to wider audience, also giving opportunity for them to interact with artists from the other part of the world. Now, the use of these instruments and other technological equipment around their culture also would help to allow the youth of this modern time to relate easily with what was and what is at the moment. It does not now mean that we are completely saying that the old system be scrapped off. No, we are saying that from our findings, if the modern equipment are put to full use, the culture of the people will be preserved. On performance practice, the adoption of the Western instrument has made it possible for people in the urban area to also remain connected to the culture of the people. Because these instruments do not only curb the problem of not being able to keep the trend of producing the local instrument because of the development, but then has made it even easier, like we said earlier, to archive. Reaching and keeping the youth connected to the culture is now even easier. So the performance generally is something that will not necessarily warrant one going down to the thick village before he remains connected to the culture of the people anymore. Following the argument of Daniel Lena's theory on modernization, which is very much related to our study, we hold the view that the adoption of modern technology and globalization practices would not only help to preserve and sustain the cultural practices of the people, but introduce new ideas, values, and positive behavior leading to improved standards of the people. In conclusion, instead of allowing the music of minority language and even the culture of people in other places to go extinct, it would be best that the modern technological equipments are fully put to use in order to preserve as much content of the people's music as possible in order to keep the culture of the people alive. This way, sustainability will be there and references will make the learning of the upcoming generation easier, as they could now see and hear what their people historically are known for. Thank you for listening.